Hey guys, I'm Leo Reinhardt, the Guitar Maniac, and welcome to another episode of the Studio Chronicles. In this video I would like to talk a little bit about my guitars. This is a classical guitar handmade by a luthier, Yon Han Lee, and this is the most expensive instrument in my entire collection. If you would like to buy the guitar made by Yon Han Lee, you would probably spend nowadays about 5,000 euro. But I was lucky enough to buy this guitar back in the days when he was just starting out, and he was looking for new customers, and he offered his guitar extremely cheap. But even back then I purchased this guitar for much more money than I spent for any other guitar in my entire collection. I used this guitar for recording sessions with the Mandolin Orchestra of Ettlingen and for some other projects, and in fact this was about 10 years my number one or my only one classical guitar. This is a really nice instrument. And back over here I have Harley Benton roundback guitar. I paid 89 euro for it, and right now I'm using it as a wall decoration. Not because there was something wrong with this guitar. I had a stupid incident and I broke it. And fixing this guitar would cost much more than I paid for this guitar, so it wasn't worth of fixing it. But before I broke it, I used it on a bunch of recording sessions as well, and I used it on live gigs. This guitar wasn't the best Western or acoustic guitar sounding ever, the acoustic guitar with the metal strings, whatever people call them, but it could help me get the job done, and it could actually hold up against a couple of guitars up to the 500 euro price point. Some of the Gibson guitars for 3,000 euro would probably sound much better than this guitar, but actually I like the way it sounded. In fact, I purchased another copy of this guitar and I'm still waiting for delivery. I really like the way this guitar sounds. And here is the thing with the guitars for the price of the entry level. Well, most probably those guitars end up at the hobby musicians or at musicians which are just starting out, the beginner level musicians. And after those musicians get better, probably they purchase some better guitars. And what do they do with their first guitars? Well, they hang it on the wall and probably never touch them. And here is the problem, what I think. Those guitars weren't designed to be the wall decoration. They have nice sound, and they were designed to be played. And a lot of guitars have actually good sound. And for me, it's a pity that those guitars are never used anymore. And the point of my video, I want to motivate people to grab their guitars from the wall and to make some music. And to prove my point, I would like to go to some place where I saw a bunch of guitars that are hanging on the wall, never been used. So let's walk with me. We have here three guitars that at least for the last year serve as the wall decoration. And here is the owner of these three guitars, Johnny. Say hi.
Hey, hey.
Yeah. So you have a couple of projects. Would you tell something about this?
Yeah, and now I have a singer-songwriter project, and I'm writing songs, and on German language. And before I have a band, and I play guitar and writing songs. That's what I do.
So, I mean, your projects, the first one was Journey in the Fifth Dimension. So it's basically acoustic project.
The first project was an acoustic project. Now I play also electric guitar and stuff like this with effects.
So, and your first guitar in the Journey Fifth Dimension, the acoustic guitar, as far as I know, was the Taylor.
No, the first guitar was Greg Bennett. Black Greg Bennett.
Okay, well, but if I saw your shows live, I saw that the first guitar that you would grab was Taylor guitar. I guess it was pretty expensive.
I like the sound of Taylor. I know I pay something for the brand, but I like the sound of Taylor. It's in my eyes the best sound of Western guitar.
Well, I can actually be jealous that I don't own this guitar. Well, and the electric guitar that you purchased recently was Duesenberg.
That is my expensive guitar. It's a nice guitar. I love this. He has a great sound.
So, and I want to ask about these three guitars. When was the last time that you played those?
I think maybe 3 years.
So, and why don't you play this right now?
Different reasons. By this guitar, I make with my band music on the street, and then we came to a store, and I see this guitar and say how expensive it is, and the man say 100 euro, and I say no, I think it's not so good guitar, it's old and you have to
fix it.
And then I bought it for 30 euros, and this guitar I bought to one day I want to make a music video, and then I destroy this guitar and burn it, and this one.
Well, and what about these two?
These two. This is my first guitar, electric guitar. I think I have an classic guitar with nylon strings, and then my uncle gave me this guitar. It's a jazz guitar. It has Fleetwood strings, and that's nice. When you slide, you don't hear it.
Yeah.
And that's a great sound. But this guitar, the body is very heavy. And so when you play 1 hour, maybe it's for the shoulder. It's
so
heavy, yeah.
Okay.
And this guitar, I stay on a festival, and then I hear the singer-songwriter Rob Hanjes, and he has a 12-string guitar, and I love this sound. Maybe 3 weeks later, I came to some people who has this guitar at home and say they don't play it, and so I.
So you purchased it and you don't play it either.
Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, the problem on these guitars, you have no input to play it on a PA. And that's
microphone.
I'm a lot of moving on the stage, and that's the problem.
Okay.
Maybe.
Well, the reason why I'm asking this, well, I grew up in Central Asia with land with poor economy, and the guitars that I started with were in much worse shape. And nowadays, ever since Toman brought their Harley Bentons, there are some amazing guitars for under 100 euro.
Yeah.
So, and usually I see with my students, they buy some cheap guitar and they buy with some low budget guitar. And after they buy something more expensive, they hang it on the wall and don't touch it, and they never touch them. And those guitars have actually pretty nice sound, and they don't use them as a guitar. They will use them as a wall decoration.
Yeah.
And I think that is sort of not what those guitars were designed for. Well, have you ever heard something about recycled orchestra?
No.
Well, I guess this is somewhere in Paraguay, as far as I know. The whole world brings the garbage in there, and the economy is in worst shape ever. And people, especially children, can't afford any music instruments.
Cool.
So people just grab their garbage and they make violins from the cola cans, or some double bass with oil cans.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some weird instruments, and they manage to play awesome music.
Yeah.
And actually they win the international prizes with this violin made of tin cans.
Yeah.
And we have in Europe pretty much a nice economy. We have access to pretty nice guitars that I couldn't have as a child. And in most of the cases, pretty good instruments end up as the wall decoration.
Yeah.
So, if you would go in studio, would you consider to grab one of these guitars?
Sorry, can you repeat?
If you would consider to go to the studio, would you grab one of these guitars to make some recordings? Or would you prefer something that you have more expensive guitars?
It's not the expensive. I think you need the connection to the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
So, and you don't have connection to these guitars.
To these guitars, these are I get it for nothing. I don't pay something for this, and this is a joke. In the end, I tried to make a string on it, but you have to put this one higher, and that's the problem. And to these instruments, I don't find the connection.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good, but so it is. And maybe in the studio, this one, maybe I can think about it because I like the sound.
Mm-hmm.
But for live, it's too heavy. And this one, I have to learn it. 12 strings guitar, you have very good to play, to make pickings or stuff like this, because when I play chords on this, the effect is okay, but I think it's nicer to make some pickings on these guitars.
Mm-hmm. So, and what about this guitar?
And this guitar, I take to a music video, I think.
Well, I think this guitar has a lot of potential if you fix it.
Yeah, maybe.
But, the reason for my video, I want to do some sort of shitty guitar challenge, so to motivate some people to grab their old instruments from the wall and to make some music. Or at least not to use the guitars as a wall decoration, but rather to give to needed musicians, sell or something else, because instruments were designed to be played.
Yeah.
So what would you say if I grab all these 3 guitars and make the studio session with them?
Yeah, I think it's a nice idea when you want to try it.
Well, so I want to make this studio session before Christmas. It's my personal challenge because we are still on a lockdown because of COVID-19. Well, but I guess I want to put some deadline that I have to make this recording session before Christmas and release the music video. And how do you know that it sounds good?
Yeah.
Well, I think if I get about 20,000 views a year with this video, then I made something good with maybe not so expensive instruments.
I think it's not important how expensive an instrument because I think the important is that you have a connection to this instrument.
So here's the deal. I grab these instruments, fix them if needed, and I'll release a music video before Christmas.
Okay, nice.
So, what would you do with these instruments after I give it back to you?
This guitar I get from some people, and they said if I don't play it, I have to bring him back, and yeah, I maybe bring him back. And this one I think I sell, and this one I said about the music video. I don't know.
Well, I have. If you want to destroy guitar in music video, I have one guitar on my wall that was damaged and isn't in good shape anymore. So we can switch the guitars.
Yeah, we can switch. It's okay.
Yeah.
But you have to talk with someone who can fix it. I don't think you can play it. It's too old.
I don't know what kind of guitar this is. I guess this is some of the German guitars from the 50s. And some of them have actually pretty nice sound.
Yeah, but the problem is, you see here.
Yeah, and this can be fixed. So, and I have, I see where the problems are, so I'll try to fix it.
Okay.
Okay. So, stay tuned, and we have another videos about how this project is going on.
Bye bye.